Welcome back to Procrastination Garage. My name's Matt. This episode is going to be a little bit different. Making a trip up to our cabin and basically just doing some work around the property. Going to involve some chainsaw work and using our log splitter. So this is actually going to be a two-part video. This is part one. The video got a little long, ran 40 minutes, and I decided that I'd rather you guys only suffer through 20 minutes at a time instead of a full 40 minutes. So sit back and enjoy, or scroll on. I'm not sure if I'm going to include it in this video or not, but some friends and I, we went up in the hills and we're clearing some trees out of the roads so the snowmobile trail groomer can get through this winter. And I was using my little Ryobi as well as my new Husky. And the Ryobi, it was just singing along just fine. It ran out of gas, so I stopped, filled it up with gas, filled it with oil, and I never could get started again. I'm like, geez, what happened? So I was all set to do kind of a tear down of it today and figure out what's going on. And I think I figured out my problem. That one there says chain oil, so that one would be fuel. And if you look and see what I filled it up with, I filled it up with bar oil. Well, no wonder the damn thing won't run. So let's see if we can drain the oil out and get the thing running again. Hopefully I don't have to take the carb apart. Hopefully the fuel will just clean it out itself. So we'll see. At the price of fuel and even oil, I hate to waste it, but I don't know any other way than to just dump it out. All right, got a nice little cocktail there. All right, I've got it filled with gas. Working the primer. It looked like I'm pumping some fuel. I never noticed that it was pumping oil before, but who would have known? So fuel, gonna choke it, start stop on. I'm gonna take it outside and see if I can fire it up. Good deal. All right, that project done. Did I ever mention that I'm kind of a dumbass? Yeah, it happens. You know, it's funny. In all the years I've had that saw, or any saw, I've never confused the two. Why I did the other day, beyond me, but I'm glad to know that's all it was. Well, since we're here, might as well sharpen the blade. I've got my little Dremel tool to do it the wrong way, and I've marked one of the teeth so I know where I start and where I stop. So let's do it. All right, I've already done the other side. So what are we up to now? Gonna make a trip up to the cabin. And I need the log splitter and an ATV and also that little dump trailer over there. So I've never really loaded this thing to haul it anywhere, so we're trying to figure it out. Unfortunately, I was hoping that I could maybe use the UTV tie downs, and maybe if I came over and just got it over that one. The problem is that thing there sticks out pretty far. I don't want to run into that. I don't want to take that off. So I think we're going to strap it down just about where it is. Because I'm not the brightest bulb, and I'm actually on a bit of a incline with the trailer here, I had to go ahead and put a strap on the back of it so I could unhook the ATV and roll it out of the way. So anyway, now it's ready. I can go ahead and strap down the front, and then we'll get the next piece of equipment loaded. And now we take you away from our regularly scheduled programming so we can take the doggy to get her haircut. We're back. What do you think? She's all cute again. Are you a cute little doggy? She's excited to be home. all loaded up and ready to hit the road in the morning. So I've got the ATV in the back, moved over to the right-hand side. If it straddles the fender well, it goes right down between the tires there. I'm not sure you can tell. And that keeps it from rolling forward into the back of the truck, breaking out the window or damaging the bed. And I know about damaging the bed because I did so on the green truck. And then on the trailer here, we've got the log splitter and I've got it all strapped down. I'm trying something new. Instead of tying off my straps, I'm gonna use blue painter's tape, wrapped up real nice. And you know, painter's tape comes loose nicely, but it also isn't real strong. So whether the wind breaks it apart, I don't know. I can always stop and redo it on the road. Anyway, it's all strapped down. And then my little trailer there, it's really just held in place with bungee cords. It's not going anywhere. I'm trying to keep it from coming over and banging on this, so I'm trying to keep it up tight against the log splitter. I think the bungee cords will do that. I guess we'll know by the time we get there tomorrow. So there you go. So the dog and I, there's the dog. We've been on the road several hours. We're getting closer to our cabin. Been doing some Hot Wheel hunting on the way. And the whole reason we're stopped right now, can you see the sign? Yeah, Del Taco. That's our go-to lunch stop. Let's get up the mountain. You ready, dog? Not sure if you can see it over there, but there's snow in those mountains. And that's where we're headed. Now the key is, what elevation is the snow at? We're going to 4,000 feet, and hopefully the snow is above that. We'll get into the cabin regardless of the snow, but I don't want to be working in the snow. Guess we'll find out. We're about 2,500, 3,000 feet and no sign of snow so far, so just need to get to 4,000 feet. A little bit of snow on the edge of the road there, but that's just from the plow. We're pretty much at 4,000 feet getting ready to make our turn. We're all right. Well, here's our turn, and there is a little bit of snow here. Not enough to worry about. Just want to check my straps. This last little section's kind of rough. All right, this strap here actually had come loose earlier. All right, let's do it. Last little climb. Won't have any trouble. We arrived yesterday. Today, I suppose we better get some work done. I don't like the orientation. I don't like how I've got the truck pulled in here. I think what I want to do is I want to get this turned around and back in there, because I'm going to have to unhook the trailer so I can get the ATV out of the back of the truck. So that means backing down in here and then pulling up there and then backing into there. Sounds easy enough, but quarters are kind of tight, especially with a big crew cab F350, but we'll get her done. Oh yeah. Good morning, Skeeter. Would you believe it took me 30 minutes to get turned around? Okay, but I can explain. As I was trying to get back around the corner, I kept putting the front of my pickup into some brushy stuff over on this side here. So you can see I trimmed some branches off of that tree, and then I trimmed that all up. Anyway, now the driveway is blocked, so we've just added more work, but it'll be easier the next time. What I really need to do is I need to get a circular driveway going here. And at one time there used to be one, but that's been years ago. But that's not a project for this trip. One area I could have planned better, I should have brought a couple of jack stands, because I've got no good way of supporting the back of the trailer to get the log splitter off of there without it tipping up, because I've got to unhook it from the truck to get the ATV out. At home, when I loaded everything, and remember I had this trailer hooked up to the green truck, and so it wasn't really an issue. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to unhook it from the truck, lower it down, and then I'll take a couple of sticks of firewood or something and put up under the back to support it. Stand by. Who needs jack stands when you got concrete blocks and scrap wood? So I've got it sitting up under there. All we're going to do is run the tongue jack up a little bit, or down, I guess push down. That'll rest that on those blocks, and we'll be able to unload all this stuff. In case you're wondering, the painter's tape worked just fine. I did 5 loops around each one, and everything held just fine. And then I just threw the roll of tape in there. I don't know, maybe it's a little wasteful, but it beats having to ding around with the ends of straps, because they're always wanting to blow, so then you got to tie them up. And I know some people have some custom ways of doing it, but the painter's tape worked just fine. And the beauty of the painter's tape is when it's time to undo it, it just rips. It's fairly light. So you're wondering what the scope of work is. Well, this wood here needs to be split, most of it. It's dry, except it's been out in the rain, so it's not totally dry. And then in my little wood shed area here, you can see I've got some big rounds there. Those need to be split. Those are fully dry. My thought is pull these out, split them, split those, load those in the bottom here, and then put the split pieces of this back up on top. So that's some of the splitting. The remains of this tree here needs to be cut, and some of the bigger pieces at that end need to be split. You can see there's still a little chunk of it standing there. That needs to be cut off, cut into firewood and split. This is the other end of that little tree. It basically just needs to be cut up for firewood. Limbs taken to the burn pile. And then this big old dead thing here that fell, there's probably not much good firewood in it. If we can salvage anything, we will. Mainly we just need to get it cut up and moved to the burn pile. If we're still looking for things to do, those dead trees there that are leaning up against the shower house, they should be cut down, and that'd make some good firewood. And then finally, if we have time and inclination, that dead piece there, actually it's not fully dead, but the top of it fell out last winter. Almost hit the corner of the cabin. That needs to come down. And the problem is it needs to fall over that direction there, and there's a bunch of trees there. So I may just go ahead and fall it and see where it lands, and if it falls down between the trees, great. If not, I may just start cutting those trees out of the way, because they don't really need to be there. The cabin's not completely without snow. This is a shaded area here, doesn't get much sun all day long. A little bit of snow hanging there. The big pile right there came off the roof. So there is that. We're lucky, really. Could have been a lot worse as far as more snow up here. Should also note it's a pretty nice day up here. Sun is out, temperatures are in the 50s. Perfect weather for working. Step one, all that little stuff there, stack it up there. The big pieces, just pull them out and put them over by the splitter. I'm happy with that. Let's get the wettish dry wood split up and stacked. It's been about 20 minutes and I've got all the bigger stuff split, and then I've still got some small stuff. So now it's time to put it in the shed. As it turns out, that wood is a lot wetter than I thought it was. Sitting out in all the weather, I thought it dried out over the summertime, and it probably had, but we've had some snow, probably had some rain. Anyway, it's pretty wet, but it'll dry. So that takes care of all the, I think it was cottonwood that I'd brought from home. And now we'll get rid of some of this other stuff. Like I said, this stuff's dry, just need to split it. But first, hey Skeeter, what do you say? You want to take a lunch break? Sounds like a plan. All right, all the wood is taken care of. Don't see anything out here. It's all split, stacked in here. That's nice and dry on top. That'll get me through a couple cabin trips up there, and by the time I get down there, that'll probably be dry enough. Plus, I've got all that to use if I want to. And then I've got old fence boards that I brought up previous trip. All right, now we need to cut up the fallen trees. I guess first we should clean the driveway up, because you never know when we need to get out of here in a hurry or get out of here at all. Driveway all cleaned up, looks a lot better. You know, I'm looking at the split rail fence and I'm thinking, you know, when I bought my bigger truck, I already moved the fence back a little bit to make getting around this corner easier. I almost wonder if I had to push that split rail fence even further out that way. That's not the project I came up to do today, so maybe if I finish up with the firewood, cutting up the rest of the wood, maybe I'll do that tomorrow before we leave. I don't know, we'll see. That's a wrap on this week's Procrastination Garage. Remember, this is part 1 of the video, part 2 will be next week. I pretty much already got it done, edited, and ready to go. Just it was getting a little long, so I wanted to keep it shorter. Remember, the goal of Procrastination Garage is to get me out of the house, get me out working on things. Out in the yard, this time up at the cabin or down the shop, whatever. Goal number 2 is to entertain you guys. I hope I've accomplished that. Please hit the like button, subscribe, tell your friends, and down in the comments, tell me what you're working on or tell me what you're procrastinating on, whatever. I'd like to hear from you. So until next week, we'll see you later. Remember, my name's Matt and Procrastination Garage.